This series was started because I was passionate about a conversation that I had with several of my friends. I have two white friends that asked me, what is it like to be a black man in today's society? They asked me, what would it be like if I walked in your shoes? And I gave them some scenarios. And they were like, wow, we never thought about it like that. And so what I wanted to do was I wanted to get some of my friends together, and I wanted them to share with you some of their insights from their cities and where they're from and what they experienced in life and what they see in the black community as bad and what they see in the black community as good, and how we can marry our race together, how we can marry the African American culture to be better, to be more excellent, to push each other towards excellence versus dividing each other. I wanted this series to speak to everybody, not just black African American males. I wanted this to speak to all races, all genders. But I wanted you to hear a perspective from black males that are passionate about unity. We're not trying to create barriers. No, we're trying to tear those barriers down, but I know that you have to face those barriers in order to tear them down. You have to see the truth at face value. You have to see the problems head on before you can conquer them. And so we came to share our truths with you. We came to share our perspectives with you. And I just ask that you watch. And when you're finished watching, I ask that you share this video. I ask that you start the conversation. I ask that you are the change that you want to be. And I pray that you learn something from this video. I pray that you hear what we have to say, and I pray that you know that we didn't say anything in hate. We only say things as our reality, as we see it, because perception is reality, and our perception of this world is our reality. And so I just hope that you see that our perspective is not rooted in hate, but it's rooted in love, and we want to see those barriers broken down. We want to see unity in our country.
Cameron Bertrand, from the 757 area, Virginia. And a little bit about me is the fact that I'm on a mission to change the world. I was actually involved in an incident about 2 years ago that kind of changed my life for at the time that I thought was the worst, and actually became my passion. Being involved in a situation where you really minding your own business, going to another move like it's another day. And I was involved in an incident where, unfortunately, I was attempted to be robbed and shot. And this was something for me that changed my life, not only because of the fact that I got shot, but because people left me there. Not only was it disheartening, but I lost faith in people in general, because that interaction could have went so many different ways. And for me, getting shot wasn't the worst part. The people that saw me laying on that ground and didn't help us, I knew what the perception was. They assumed we was gang banging or dealing and didn't want to get involved. And that's an issue in our community. I understand that there's things that happens and there's so many problems that happen in our communities, but it doesn't mean that that person that may have brought that upon themselves doesn't mean that they don't deserve a second chance to live, to get better, to help their people, because we all make mistakes. But being able to take our interactions and our encounters in life and help other people not go through it could really help our community and help our people.
A lot of my friends, they didn't get to see the age of 20, 21. And so for me, I became passionate about changing the mindset within my community amongst African American men and also women, because I wanted us to be train breakers, that we didn't have to be succumb to our environment or succumb to the negativity in our environment. I live by a motto that says we live as kings and we live as queens through the living king. And I believe that for me, that we don't have to be our situations, that we live in a society nowadays that we're kind of looked upon as being less than, or we're nothing but government abusers, meaning all we do is leech off the government, or WIC vouchers, or food stamps, or we can't go to college, that we can't do anything beyond our environment.
And that's one problem that I see in the community. I think that if there was a lot more black men that would step up and be fathers to their own kids and be father figures and mentors to other young black men, other young black youth.
We're fearful of moving out because we feel that we can't be successful because of the perception viewed of us with violence and just black on black crime, all of that. That all plays a factor on how we are perceived and viewed as. Thinking about on everything that we've already fought for to get where we are today, you would think it'd be over. You know, our ancestors did not fight the fight that they fought just for us to be killing each other.
I think that there are a lot of systemic issues, just period, with humanity. And I think our first issue is a lot of times we just lump ourselves in like one category, just as like, okay, we're black people and that's it. Man, it's awesome to like identify with like your tribe and your people and whatnot. But at the same time, I think that one of the biggest issues is we just look at ourselves and we just see one big problem, people.
So how do we change that? By putting ourselves in position to be community leaders, voting for our city council, making sure that we're doing the things and communicating with the people who actually have an opportunity to change the stuff in our neighborhoods, in the trenches, from the ground up. That's where it starts. But we can't sit aside and point the finger and pass the buck and looking at other people to come in and do a job that we have to do. Because if we keep waiting, look where it got us.
In order for us to really change the perception viewed of us, is we need to change our mindset. We need to be standing tall as kings and queens and soldiers of the battle. The war is still going on, but the battle, we can win this if we change our mindsets. We can win this if we see each other as a brother and a sister in Christ and as a family in general, because we fought too hard to get where we are today. We fought too hard not for us to be successful. We can be successful if you change the mindset and change the way you think.
You can really be whatever you want to be. You don't have to fit into a stereotype. You don't have to fit into the stereotype that's given to us through, music, through TV, through movies. You can break that mold and really be whatever you want to be. It takes hard work, it takes dedication, it takes consistency. Doesn't mean that things won't be hard, but it can be achieved.
We can do anything. That is nothing that we can't do. No, despite where we come from, I don't care if it's from a drug-infested home or whether you living in the Hamptons, that we can do anything we set our minds to, and that we shouldn't let our situations define us.